I think a really important thing for all of us is to recognize that we can feel more than one thing at once. And often when something's really intense or uncomfortable, we can zoom in on it, and it knocks us out of balance, and it feels like it's bigger than it actually is. And there is a process of how we can step back and expand our perspective to see that we're not just that one thing, and that we actually have control in what we focus on and how we feel. And so that's, again, what we're going to do today. And for anybody who's new to meditation, I'm going to give lots of different cues to make sure that you feel like you've got some steps along the way. And if anyone wants to follow up after, if you have questions or you want to know more about where this came from or how you can practice it, just reach out. That's one of the things that I've shifted during this pandemic is I'm doing all of my coaching services by donation. So whether it's group coaching or one-on-one, it's just a conversation to see how we can support each other. So don't hesitate to reach out if this is something that you feel like you would like to learn a little more about. So let's get started. The first step is finding comfort. And this is such an individual process for each one of us. Depending on how you're feeling today, you might decide you need a lot of support, and so lay down on your back. And maybe you can lean against a wall, or maybe you're in a chair, you can lean against the back of the chair. So just take a few moments to feel into your posture and really check in to find all the different ways that you can support yourself. Anything that you don't need to hold yourself. Is there a way to prop yourself up or be held? And as you feel into that posture, allow a few deep breaths to move through your body. And then assess again, how's my posture? Do I feel aligned? Do I feel balanced? Do I feel supported? And we want to find that balance between structure. So there's form, there's structure in your posture. Yet there's also a good amount of ease. So find the ease, feel for the structure. And now take a few moments to see what other ways you could send a signal of soothing into your body. And often for me, it's just a really strong connection to my breath. I find that to be so soothing. Or you might find it feels really soothing to place your hands on your body, on your heart or belly, feeling your own loving hands on. Or maybe even opening your eyes and looking around the space that you're in and landing on colors or objects or shapes that just feel good. They have a soothing quality to them. These are all different ways that we can resource ourselves with what feels good. So as we move in, we have some resources we're going in with. So just take another minute to really focus in on what feels soothing. Gentle movement, spacious breath, loving hands on, or eyes gazing and landing on something that feels good. While there are so many different ways we can engage in meditation, what it really is an intentional practice of nourishing ourselves with our own loving presence. And this is a practice, so you're not required to do it perfectly. And in fact, the more your mind wanders, the more you have opportunities to practice awareness and compassion as you acknowledge that your mind has wandered, and then you gently guide yourself back to your breath. And something that I found really helpful in my meditation practice is using words of permission. So as we begin this journey of relaxation and self-inquiry and breath, let's take a moment to send these words within that it's okay to take your time. And just notice how that lands within you. Those words of permission that this is not a race. You don't need to rush into relaxation. And that, in fact, this might feel really hard. And it's good to acknowledge that if that feels true for you. Yeah, this is hard. And it's okay to take your time. And if you feel safe to close your eyes, go ahead and do that if they're not already closed. And begin to do an inventory check through your body. Just scanning through. And through the medium of felt perception. So here we're just feeling into sensation. Noticing what's holding your body, or the various pressure points. Maybe there's a sense of tingling or temperature. You might be aware of tension, pain, or discomfort. Can you just travel through your body with curiosity? And notice if there are any areas that feel overloaded, like they're too full. Or even the opposite, where they feel depleted, where you feel disconnected from those areas. And see if you can check all of this out without judging, but just noticing. Just getting curious about your internal state of being. And it's totally normal for us to zoom in on what feels uncomfortable when we first move in. And that's a very smart mechanism we have built in within us. And sometimes to get access to what feels good, we do need to first be with what feels uncomfortable. And see if you can just wait a bit to notice what's beneath that discomfort. And you might find that as you hold space and are just curiously noticing the discomfort, that beneath it there might be a level of contentment. Or if that doesn't feel true, if the discomfort just feels like discomfort, then now would be a good time to continue scanning and try to look for what does feel pleasant in your body. And for me, I often just go to the palms of my hands or the soles of my feet. Those generally feel pretty pleasant. But go anywhere. Where do you find some pleasantness, some comfort? And see what it takes to zoom in and really move into what feels comfortable in your body right now. What feels pleasant? So even if the discomfort is really loud or big, somewhere in your awareness field, there is a quality of good for you to notice. Even if it's outside of you. And take a moment to just even imagine and visualize the community of people who love you and support you. And feeling the love and support of your people, your community, and sending it right back to them if you feel like you're able to give. Sometimes we need to just receive, and that's totally okay. Even just noticing that feeling of the love and support all around you, and how good and pleasant that feels. Notice how you breathe when you're in connection to what feels good. Can you guide your awareness down to your heart? Either heart center or to the left of your sternum, feeling into the heart space. And get so still and quiet to listen for the beating of your heart. And we often protect our heart. We protect it from the world to keep it safe. And that's so normal. It's a very common human struggle to access our own heart because we're wired to protect. And we have layers of protection. So as you feel into your heart space, bring in those words of permission again of it's okay to take your time. And yeah, this is hard. And just feel for the impact in your body as you whisper those words of permission and love to your heart. As you settle in to feel the soft and tender nature of your loving heart. Just take time with it. What does your heart need from you as awareness to maybe feel a little safer, to opening up? As if you're having a conversation with a young child, directing it to your heart. What do you need from me? What can I do for you to help you feel safe? Just feel into that. Notice what happens. The heart's essence is to love. And that love can be focused or directed as a lens. We can perceive through this love lens of the heart by turning it mindfully towards the parts of our body that felt too full or depleted, or where there was discomfort. So just check in. Is there a way to turn that love towards the places inside of you that need you right now? You turn your love towards yourself, to the parts that are tender and lonely, or scared and hurt. As if you're shining the light of your own love on yourself. What does it feel like to meet yourself with love? Continuing to gaze through the lens of your own heart. Can you expand your perspective and now hold space for what feels uncomfortable and what feels pleasurable? And it's okay if frustration or confusion comes along on this journey. Just continue practicing where you, as the higher self, the witness, hold space for what's comfortable and what's uncomfortable simultaneously. As if you're just holding space and witnessing your internal environment reorganize itself. And at any point, if you feel like discomfort is getting louder, then what can you do to shift and bring in more of the comfort without avoiding discomfort? Be with both. Perceive and feel through the lens of your heart. That loving awareness. Turning towards whatever arises with love. And if it feels appropriate for you as sensations arise, perhaps you could try turning towards each sensation and say, I love you. And what does it feel like to soften into this realm of tenderness where all is loved and included? Without an agenda to change or heal or release, but simply turning towards and meeting with love. Can you turn that same loving awareness towards your breath and be in awe of this life-giving breath? Notice the impact on your breath when you are honoring each moment, trying to lengthen and experience your breath with more depth. Your whole body breathing. And allow your awareness to settle back into your heart. And sit with the question, how do I want to show up today? Maybe there's a word or an emotion or a short phrase. What is it that you want to embody? How do you want to feel? What does that look like in action and inaction? And as you settle on that intention for your day, can you place that intention in the light and strength of your own loving awareness? Turn towards your intention. And gift yourself a whole minute of just breathing and steeping in this energy that you want to create for yourself today. Now turn towards your breath once again. And intentionally breathe in the way that you want to be breathing for today. What does a full, patient, functional breath feel like? Now, if there was any area of your body that was speaking up throughout this practice, perhaps it would feel good to place your hands there. Another gesture of soothing and comfort, and a physical way of turning towards yourself. And still gazing through the lens of your heart. When you're ready, you can begin to open your eyes and take your time as you look around your space, deeply connected to your heart. And perhaps this can be the practice for us today, is to take moments throughout the day to pause and connect with our heart, send it words of permission, thank it for protecting us and trying so hard. It's okay to take your time to feel into it, and then spend a few breaths of gazing internally or externally through the lens of your heart, and just noticing the impact on your system. And maybe this can help us all in softening our edges today, seeing each other with a little more love and compassion, and turning towards ourselves with that same love and patience and compassion. You can begin to bring some somatic movement into your body, as if you're waking yourself up from a good night's sleep. And take your time here. You might want to make yourself big and then roll into a tiny ball. If you've been on your back, I often like to bring my hands and feet into the air and then just shake them. You can roll onto your side into the fetal position if that's calling to you. And when you're ready, you can bring yourself into a seated posture if you're not already there. And we'll take a moment again to let your eyelids close as you settle into your seated posture. And feel for that balance of structure and ease. And the expansion and contraction of your breath. You feel the energy of your heart, the love or resilience, strength or vibration. It moves down your arms into your hands. And then unite your palms and bring them back to touch your heart center, thumbs to sternum. So take a moment here to acknowledge yourself. It's not easy to turn inward. So acknowledge yourself, thank yourself for practicing and for showing up. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. And now we thank each other. Namaste.